So the World Cup starts today. Brilliant, which means you have to buy a new TV, obviously. It also means that I need to explain why my TV is on the bed. This is the Hisense U7H, or to give it its full name, the 55U7HQTUK. It's the official TV of the FIFA World Cup, and it comes in 55-inch, which is that one, and 65-inch sizes. So why am I suddenly reviewing a TV? Well, it's partly because Hisense asked me to, and they very kindly sent me this one to review. They're not sponsoring this video, by the way. But there's also a selfish reason, because I haven't upgraded our TV for over 5 years. And if you're in the same boat as me, I think we've been missing out, because this £549 Hisense TV has taught me quite a bit about what you can get for your money these days. So, is this mid-range TV worth it? Is it worth your money? And is it something I'd buy myself? Right, let's run through the specs of this U7H. So it's a 4K panel, it's got a maximum native refresh rate of 120Hz, it's HDR10+, it's got Dolby Vision IQ, it's got full array local dimming, 600 nits of peak brightness, and it's quantum dot color, so it's not OLED. It's also got Dolby Atmos and Google and Alexa support. Now you get all of that for £549, and it's also worth bearing in mind that Hisense have recently introduced a 100-day money-back guarantee. It's only available for a limited period. I'll put the details of that in the description. To set the scene, it's worth mentioning which TV I'm moving from to this Hisense, and that TV upstairs on the bed is a 55-inch curved Samsung. As mentioned, it is 5 years old, possibly a little bit older, and because of that, it's one of the very first 4K HDR TVs. So that gives you some idea of where I'm coming from, and again, just remember that I'm not your atypical TV reviewer. I'm not going to go into a big deep dive about the specs of this TV or its performance, and that does mean I'll skim over things which TV aficionados will be screaming at me in the comments for, but one, I don't care, and two, if you're still watching, you're probably like me. You probably just want to know what you get for £549 these days. So my TV viewing consists of three sources. The first one is Now TV, which is a streaming service in the UK. We used to have Sky, but we got rid of it because it was too expensive. The second source is channel apps like BBC iPlayer and ITV Hub. And the third source is your classic streaming services, Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon, that kind of thing. And all of those run through the Apple TV 4K. Although it is worth bearing in mind that on the U7H you get access to pretty much all of those services via the built-in operating system, which is pretty good. And in terms of picture quality, on Now TV, it's not the best example because Now TV is pretty dreadful. Same goes for iPlayer and ITV Hub and Channel 4. At times they're not bad, but they do again rely on the quality of the stream, and neither of those services support 4K or Dolby Vision. However, if you start putting stuff from Netflix and Amazon Prime and also Apple TV Plus and actually Disney Plus as well through this TV, it's just incredible. Now I know there will be corners cut with this TV. It's 549 quid. It's not a 1,000/2,000 pound OLED panel. But if you don't know what those corners are, and I don't, hands up, I've got no idea what they are, you're going to be impressed by this. It's incredibly bright. In fact, that was the first thing that my girlfriend said. Wow, this is so much brighter than our normal TV. It's sharp, the colours are fantastic without being too saturated, and if you've got Dolby Vision content, of which there is a lot these days, it just absolutely shines. And the lovely thing with Dolby Vision is that you don't have to do any setup, really, in terms of the colour or the sharpness. It's all handled by that Dolby Vision. The only thing I have noticed on this particular panel is that in all four corners, there's a slight darkening, so the backlight is a little bit uneven. I've seen that before on TVs. It is what they call the panel lottery, and if it was me, I might possibly ask for a replacement, but it's not that bad. To be fair, I'm probably nitpicking there really. But you don't notice that when you're just watching the TV and watching the content. Now I've been showing you B-roll of this TV while I've been talking. You'll never see what it's like on a video like this. Bearing in mind, I can't capture the exact output from this TV through this camera, and you're also watching a compressed YouTube video. You're never really going to see what it really looks like or what it sounds like, which I'll come on to in a moment. And it is my first experience of Hisense. I've been aware of them for a long time, but I can see why they're so often praised, because price-wise, they've nailed it, and I think you get a lot for your money. If you're a gamer, this TV does have a native 120Hz refresh rate, which if you've got a Xbox Series X or a PS5 is really good news. So providing you've got that high-speed HDMI cable, you can connect your Xbox Series X or your PS5 to this TV, and providing the game supports it, enjoy that buttery smooth 120Hz. And it is really impressive, but then again, so is the 60Hz performance. When we built this TV unit, I didn't think about HDMI 2.1, so at the moment, via the cabling that's built into this unit here, I can only experience the 60Hz. I have tried 120Hz by running a cable from the TV directly into the Xbox, but you have to look for it, really. If, like me, you made that mistake of not plumbing in 2.1 HDMI, then don't worry, because 60Hz through this TV on your Xbox or your PS5 is a very good experience. And what I'm impressed by is what you can get from a mid-range TV that is well below £1,000 from your next-gen gaming consoles. It's incredibly impressive. When it comes to sound, it's okay. I'm still yet to hear a really good TV. It's not bad, it just gets the job done, and if, like me, you like your sound and you're quite passionate about having decent sound at home for TV and movie viewing, then I'd still get yourself a soundbar. Or if you're a bit crazy like me, plumb in full 5.1. But basically, you're going to get adequate sound out of this. Yes, it does have Dolby Atmos support, but it's passable, and you really have to listen out for it. So be prepared not to be completely bowled over by the sound. But the good thing is, because this is such a well-priced TV, you probably can budget in something for a, like I say, soundbar, or if you want to go a bit more elaborate, a full 5.1 system. So if, like me, you're upgrading from a pretty old TV, Hisense really are worth a look. The whole World Cup thing is obviously just marketing, it does get people to buy TVs, but we all look for TVs beyond football tournaments, obviously, and the value you're going to get from the U7H is quite simply unbelievable. If you've got the right content to feed this TV, so if you've got streaming services like Disney Plus or Netflix or Apple TV Plus, the image quality you're going to get from this is really, really impressive. So if you don't have a huge budget for your next TV, if you don't want to spend anything more than, let's say, £600, put the U7H on your list. And remember that this is the 55-inch version. There is a 65-inch version if you want to go bigger. And Hisense do have much higher end TVs if you do want to spend more and get things like OLED. But I am going to enjoy watching the World Cup on this. I'm going to enjoy playing my new Xbox Series X when I work out how to play the games. I feel so old these days. And boy, am I going to enjoy that Dolby Vision proper HDR 4K stuff from the likes of Disney Plus and Netflix. It's just stunning. I can't believe I've waited this long to experience a new TV. Silly me.